Victorious Aisling. Remy collapsed into a wounded heap, hardly noticing as she landed in a patch of thorny brambles. Never in her life had she felt so much pain. Physically, because she'd fought with everything she had and lost. Emotionally, because of who she'd been fighting. What was she supposed to do? Kill her best friend? Aisling skipped along between their beaten and bloody forms, casually dislodging the broken remnants of slain monsters and kicking them to tumble down the nearby cliffs and into the ocean. "Thank you for your help, Princess." Aisling bowed exaggeratedly to Nightingale, more like a stage actor than anything. "I knew that your family wouldn't put up with such injustices in your own kingdom." Nightingale smiled back, her grin growing wider and wider on her face. "Of course," Nightingale said, though her voice sounded alien and off-kilter. Aisling then turned to look down at Remy and she smiled viciously. "Your corrupt family can't protect you up here, girl." Remy tried to scramble away but fell back into the dirt in pain as Aisling bent down to bind her hands once again. "We'll take you back to Alinea proper and see what Balthazar has to say about—" Something hit Aisling in the back of the head hard. She stumbled and spun. As she did, Remy gasped in horror. The back of Aisling's head had blood leaking from underneath her hair. Nightingale stood behind Aisling, still grinning, showing her teeth. Remy realized that Nightingale must have cheap-shotted Aisling while she was turned. "Princess?" Aisling said, shocked from the surprise blow to her skull. Aisling opened her mouth a second time, but she didn't speak. Instead, Nightingale struck Aisling with the hilt of her dagger a second time, this time in the neck. The blow let out a horrible crackling sound that sent Aisling down to her knees. She involuntarily spit blood across the grass and reached both hands to her throat. She let out a series of gurgling sounds and her eyes went wide. "Stop!" Patrick dragged himself along towards Aisling. "You're going to kill her!" Whatever else he had to say was cut short as Nightingale kicked him, and he rolled, grasping at his stomach. Aisling twisted and convulsed on the ground nearby, grasping at her neck, struggling to breathe. Nightingale reached casually down past her, scooping the hegemonics from where it had fallen. The glow darkened visibly when she touched it, as though someone had covered the artifact with an invisible cloth. "Night? What are you doing?" Remy squeaked, the words coming out slurred and pained. "Aisling might have gotten away," Nightingale mused to herself. Though her voice hadn't changed, Remy had never heard her sound so cold. "Only one piece out of place." She twisted a single segment to the right. The box made a single satisfying click. "No!" Aisling croaked, through the delirium of the blow and still clutching at her throat. "Princess, you don't know what you've done!"